So my main plan for the stream was to look at the beta passive tree, and you can maybe help me with that, because some of you probably know the beta passive tree already a lot better. So right side is the beta passive tree, and I already know this is different. So this is the beta passive tree, and this is the current normal passive tree of the live realm. And we'll all just have to look at some changes and see what I think about them and how I like them. So yeah, that's basically that. And you in chat are very, very welcome to help me as my awesome live audience. And you can also keep posting tentacles in chat, that always works. Alright, so what do we have here? So that changed. That used to be here. That's heart and soul, right? Yep. So that's like 4-6, 4-6, 4-6, and an 8-10. And now it's 5-8, 5-8, and an 8-12. So before we had 20% life, now we have less, right? Now it's like 18. Ooh, we lost 2% life in the witch region. That's kind of meh. But it's more point efficient, because we have... we only spent 3 points for 18, that's 6 per point. Instead of spending 4 points for 20, 4 for 20, if you know what I mean. And that's 5 per point. So it's more efficient, but less total. I like that it bridges over here though, because before it was always awkward to travel, like if you came from like Shadow area and you wanted to travel over to Templar area. You always had to travel through these shitters, which are probably the same. Yeah, they're like stunned while casting stuff, which is not... Like this dex and strength can be kind of nice, because that's what the witch lacks, but it always was a little bit awkward because these are like not that great of a node, to be honest. Not that great of a stat. So you either had to travel through here, but if you're not an AoE spellcaster, it was kind of awkward. You could travel through... excuse me. You had to travel through the ES nodes, but if you're not ES, that's kind of awkward. And if you're like not a summoner traveling, this is kind of awkward. And if you are not crit, like I mean, there are not that many builds that cannot travel somewhere through here. But let's say you're a Scorching Ray life base and you want to go from here to here. Now this is pretty good, right? Alright, what else changed? These kind of like the numbers could of course always change. Like 10% area damage. Wait! They put a bridge here. Put a bridge here. So now you can just like take this, and ignore all of this. Before you had to always put 3 points. Like if you want to go from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now it's from here, 1, 2, 3. And this side as well. That's kind of nice. Can't think of too many moments you want to do this, but like traveling through which is now a lot nicer, right? Which got a lot better still, the mon says. That one int node above the LA damage cluster. One int node above that one, right? Yeah, I don't really know why this has to be here as well. Like they could just put it like this, and like this node, this node. Nobody wants this. This would be so much nicer without this. I guess Whispering Eyes could kind of live with that, I guess. Alright, so what else do we have? I think this got nerfed, by the way, I was just wondering. It's like still 12-14, right? Because this class is like insanely strong. But didn't get touched. I was wondering if they might nerf this. And I guess it's not popular because a lot of people underestimate it. Okay, so what is this? This is now 8, 20, 8, 5. And 8, 8, 20, and 5. This didn't change, it's just the order. That's pretty good. That node has feelings too. Now, this int node does not have feelings. This is like a sadistic piece of crap node. This one, I hate it. But there are more of those type of nodes. Alright, anything else changed around here? It's like very obvious pathing change. Like, I mean, the numbers could have, of course, have changed. I would have to like hover over every single node. This looks the same. No damage multiplier for ailments from critical strikes. Alright. So they really don't want any crit to work with this. Alright. This is kind of still the same. Did I do something to these? Because I think they are not currently not very popular. But they're actually not bad, they're just in a bad spot. Something happened maybe to the burning. 20% burning, 20, 20, 60. Currently it's 15, 15, 40. So this got increased, alright. Avatar Fire probably still the same stuff. Yes. Did you just assume the gender of that note? No! I'm digging myself into a hole I can't get out of. Maybe those bad nodes should just team up to form one massive super node. Yeah, please, please. That would be nice. That would make them good even. Let's also still region to yes, right? Yeah. Probably also still the same. They do something good to this. There more crit multi on this. They've always been pretty good, right? But they're like just awkward, and mace crit is just awkward. Same. Oh, looks. Oh wait. I was like, did this always connect here? But apparently it does. That's why I got the old passive tree here, because I don't get confused with what stuff's new or what which is not. There's not too much new stuff around here. Change this from the current life, like the reflecting and the 16%. Yeah, I still don't feel like the 10% reflect reduction is really worth pathing through shitty nodes. Same for like the fourth force shaper, master force. All right, let's see. Crackling speed and the other one, are they all still the same? Yeah. Where's the chaos? They changed this node. Whoop! It's gone! Woot! Rip? Feels so empty. Rip Arena. I think that was in the manifesto, right? Same with like the Ghost Reaver change. How's the wording now? Life Leech is applied to Energy Shield instead. 50% Energy Shield recharge rate. Okay. I think that's still cool. I mean, this no wait, it's not cool. Like Vile Discipline is the rip with that. That's not very good. This all looks super similar. These didn't get buffed or anything because some people really hate those nodes. This is all the same. Not really that much change, did it? Wait, what's this? Oh yeah, I read about that. Perfect Agony. Apparently it's now here. This is the crit multi. Perfect Agony. Modifiers the critical strike multiplier. Also apply to damage multiplier for ailments from critical strikes at 75% of their value. So if you have 100 crit multi additional, you get 75 crit multi applied to poisons, ignites, etc. 25% less damage with hits, so initial hit takes 25 less damage. But the hit does not, like the poison or ignite or whatever damage is not reliant on the hit damage anymore, so it's not like because double dipping is gone. Ailments that deal damage are bleeding, ignite, and poison. Oh yeah, bleeding, I almost forgot. This doesn't seem bad, but I didn't, like, it's hard to try to just like do a rough calculation in your head for this. So what I would probably have to do like lots of math or wait for Path of Building to update and work for this. So I'm wondering. We added a bunch of bleed damage to the Marauder duelist areas. Alright, we'll get to that. Interesting with this one then. But yeah, if you lose 25% damage with hits. But you get 75% off your crit multi to ailments. It at first sounds pretty damn good. Because crit multiplier is a very, very powerful modifier, like a very powerful mechanic, because it's a damage multiplier, a pretty big one. If you can get a tons of crit chance with that, it seems like, just in my head, it seems good at first glance. It seems to be very powerful, especially if you're something like an assassin. You get like this stuff here. Poison you inflict with critical strikes deal 100% more damage. So doubles your poison damage and applies the crit multiplier to it as well, which you get a crap ton of as assassin because there's like... No, this is power concentration. Yeah, there's crit multiplier on here, 8%, and I think these... I think those are crit multi. Damn. Okay, then you don't get that much crit multi. Still got a ton of crit though. more crit, more damage. It seems like a good node, but of course it takes initial burst damage away and gives you damage over time for it. It seems pretty damn strong at first glance, but it's really hard to tell. It could be completely wrong here. Like, don't quote me on this, but I feel like it might be strong. All right, so that's like bleeding added. They added some here. I think that most of the bleeding is like on the left side normal. Get any love? Oh, black silver say, did this get any love? Is this still used? Like, I've not played like evasion in a while. This, I always felt like the less melee avoidance is kind of like a bit too risky. Take at least in hardcore. You can already select 3.0 in Path of Building, doesn't Perfect Agony work yet? I heard something about that. The calculation seems kind of off-ish from someone who I trust a lot in when it comes to theory crafting. I just like talked with a friend over, what's it called? WhatsApp, and he was like, yeah, I don't really trust the crit. What did you say, that the crit damage over time beta calculations of Path of Building yet? He said there was something wonky according to him, and it's a guy who knows his stuff about theory crafting from my experience. So I'm kind of like a bit reluctant to rely on Path of Building yet. Oh, damage with poison, increased damage with bleed, poison duration, bleed duration. Interesting that you can. It used to be bleed chance on this. A 5% bleed chance here. Only 5%, but there's like lots of damage with bleeding damage here. This used to be the bleed only cluster. Attack damage against bleeding enemies, damage with bleeding. 10% bleed cost bleed chance, another 10%. 20% chance to bleed, basically. Kind of nice. Used to be some other bleeds somewhere. That's the stun. Yeah, right, the stun cluster. In my head, this is like, I was like, what is this? What is this, the stun cluster? Wait, is this different, or did they change it last patch? Oh, that's already changed last patch. It used to be you used to have to take all nodes in the cluster. Now you get to choose between more armor or all res in mana. Pretty good. I think there's some bleeding here. Right. 10% cross chance bleeding. Now what does the beta say? Increase damage with the bleeds, 15%. Oh, it's basically just added a stat. They just added some damage with bleeds. That's nice. That's bleeding too. Yeah, it has. Nice. And there's another 5% to cause bleeding, so you can get. Let me just get cause. So how much bleeding chance can you get on the tree? Get 15. 20. Oh, champion of the cause. 40. 45. 45% chance to bleed on the passive tree. That's not bad. I think with Gladiator you could get like 100%, right? Like 95%? Like 25, 25? Yeah. If you take all the bleed nodes and you're a Gladiator, you can get a 100%, like 95% chance to bleed just from passives. I mean, there are new bleed mods on weapons and stuff as well, as far as I know. That should be pretty good. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Bleed chance node additive? Yeah, they should be. Like if you take this, you have 5%, and if you then take these two, you should have 25%. It's not like, not multiplicative, not like 5% chance to bleed, then another 10, another 10, another 10, whatever. It's like, it just adds them all up and that's it. What does the fox say? I don't know. Thoughts on poisonous fangs. Fangs? Wait, another one. Fangs? Fangs of Frost? Poisonous fang. Oh, with claws. Nice. Let's see. What do you have to take to get up there? This is use damage with claw, physical damage with claws, poison duration, 40% increased damage with poison. Very specific. Damage with poison. Physical damage, leech, life increase, life per second, crit. I'm not too convinced this is great. But we of course have to know the like exact numbers of like poison or like kind of just all that kind of stuff. Is Spectral Throw Bleed your best ever? Yeah, Spectral Throw Bleed sounds kind of fun. I think I watched Ziz once play Disfavor Spectral Throw Gladiator. Sounds like this was really fun, that build. That doesn't seem. Did I do something to this cluster or is it still the same? Is it? I'm lost on the path tree. Ah! There we go. Yeah, definitely. Damage with poison. Damage with poison. Damage with poison. Now what does poison? Poison duration and damage with poison. And chance to poison on hit. Not much chance to poison. And of course, Addis Touch. Did they change Addis Touch again? 30% chance to poison with. Was that already nerfed? Where's Addis? There. Can't read. It's already. Now they added some poison damage to that as well. It feels like they just added increased damage with poison to like some of the nodes, like same with bleed, just to basically to counter the fact that double dipping is gone. It kind of seems to be that. Quote from Mark from GGG. This stat doesn't have its own stat description, but shares a combined one with a stat that causes bleed, so it can inhibit display of that if both are present. This means that while reworking the bleed stats, we included removing some old stats. The description for this stat was lost as well, as this wasn't noticed in time. I fixed this locally by attaching it to the correct stat for the new item. I don't understand what that means. Can you link stuff here? Yeah, you can post links if it's relevant to the discussion. It's about the Bloodlust support gem, by the way. So Bloodlust doesn't work in the beta, that's what I'm reading. I was like, why is this, what is this stuff? You have a link to your RF spreadsheet? Currently not at hand, but it's in the video description of the RF video that I posted. So yeah, basically double dipping got removed, and to compensate we got some poison damage here and there, it seems. Let me check the ignite nodes up here. Maybe they changed something with ignite. It creates burning damage, chance to ignite burning damage. Ignite duration. Damage, chance to ignite. I think that's the burning damage has been buffed, like doubled. Like 5% added, okay. And the fire damage got replaced by more burning damage. And fire damage. Same. Okay, so replace some of the fire damage with burning damage and added, but it's more than it was before. Basically, Bloodlust lost its cannot cause bleed text in the beta. Oh, so you can just put Bloodlust on anything that does bleed. Like you could put it Disfavor and Bloodlust is just like a second melee fizz. I'm guessing that's not intended. It's not supposed to let you bleed even if the text is gone. Yeah, that's true. Alright, anything else that I might have missed? Any big changes if I look over this? It looks all pretty similar, right? Bleed changes, poison changes. I think so far I'm most excited about just the witch area looking a lot more smooth to pass through. But it was already one of the nicest areas to plan builds with. I also like the shadow area, to be honest. This kind of like this wheel, this circular wheel feels kind of cool, because for most builds you can at least take like 3 of the 4 sides of this rectangle. So I would say this starting area is pretty nice. The ranger starting area feels wonky as hell. Like this whole part, I'm not a huge fan of. I barely ever take any of these nodes, although they're like kind of good. They have like these wonky ass travel nodes in here with like 8% first, 10% but this node is actually alright to take for 2 points, I feel, because 20% accuracy is nice, movement speed is nice, damage with bows works with fizz and elemental, and 10% max life is not bad either. But they can never take any of this shenanigans, like this part. Hell, I feel like this area is like ranger area feels a bit weird. Duelist area is kind of alright, although these circles are kind of alright, I guess. I think I'm happy with the duel. Marauder area, I always felt this to be kind of awkward. It's not horrible, but kind of weird, because maybe it's just because armor is not in a good state, and the area is actually fine if the stats were more useful. And then there's Templar area has been alright since since the current changes, although I don't really feel this is all that good. Oh, it's pretty good. Which area got the most changes? This cannot be used together with Perfect Agony, which I think is reasonable. Otherwise, like this would probably be insane. Alley Overload, Perfect Agony would otherwise probably be insane. Alright, I think that is it for my first look at the passive tree. I might actually upload this last bit to YouTube.